Great piece in PJ Media by Deborah Hine. Why does the mainstream media keep falling for obvious hoaxes? They don't. They're the hoaxsters. And as she points out, over the years, the mainstream media has fallen for hundreds of hate crime hoaxes, reporting on them as if they were confirmed facts rather than mere allegations. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I know I get attacked when I say this, but there are people in the media who hate America. They want it fundamentally transformed. Guys like Don Lemon. Guys like Chris Cuomo. Jake Tapper. Now, while they pretend they don't, they do. If you support socialism, and by the way, if you're in the media destroying the free press, if you rally around Jim Acosta, you despise this country. Because you're not rallying around free press, you're not rallying around freedom. The time the story is proven to be a hoax, the media have already moved on to the next manufactured outrage. This phenomenon has only increased since the election of President Trump. They want to tie all hate crimes to Trump and his supporters. That's what they're trying to do. That's what they want to do. I'm going to tell you where this comes from. You notice there's an intensity in the calling of Trump a racist. Even though the man does not have a racist bone in his body. Donald Trump has hired more minorities than CNN has ever hired, than MSNBC that has ever hired, or Bernie Sanders has ever hired, or any senator or congressman has ever hired. More African Americans, more Latinos, more Asian Americans, and on and on and on. Than any of them put together. But I'm going to tell you why they've been pushing this racist theme so hard for the last 6 months. Do you know why, Mr. Producer? Because there was a Pew poll that came out in August, I believe it was. You know what it showed? Trump's approval rating among blacks, particularly black men, had reached 21%. Remember that, Rich? Well, the Democrats can't win if they don't get over 90% of the African-American vote. They can't win. So Trump was getting 21% approval rating among blacks, according to Pew. About 6 months or so, give or take. And so the Democrats and the NAACP and the media decided they're going to hammer the hell out of this guy as a racist. They're going to change the narrative. So it's racist. He's a racist. Racist. He's a racist. They're racist. On and on. Over and over. You need to understand this is a campaign of propaganda by media demagogues. So he's going to continually be called a racist because they want to dissuade African Americans from even taking a look at him as a possibility to vote for. That's why they keep calling him a racist. It has nothing to do with Charlottesville. Has to do with this poll. And they go, holy mackerel. 21%. We can't. 21%? Can you imagine a Republican maybe getting 20%, even 15% of the African American vote? We can't have that. We'll lose state after state after state. Remember, the Democrats are about balkanization and tribalization. They're about groupthink. They can't have that. They can't have one of its constituent groups, quote unquote, because, you know, to them, African Americans aren't individuals who think for themselves. It's a group. That's a group. There's another group over there, another group over here. We're going to create a group.